I'm so happy to meet such a wonderful gathering of high banking officials of Bank of Baroda and State Bank, as well as our Jai Sachidanand Sangh organization's heads and senior colleagues celebrates what Shah Sahib has referred to as Aptaputras, and some of our Dada Bhagwan's following Satsangis, so we call them. So happy to meet you all, very happy, very happy. It's a very nice gathering today, and to have talk on such a wonderful subject, that corporate governance based on self-governance. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, today, executives from the bank are together, and today it is common knowledge now, though nationalized as banks, yet they are corporate banks. I hope I am right. Are they corporate banks? Even though they are nationalized, they are called nationalized, or no? They are corporate, right? Let us say they are limited to that extent, to the extent that they are not so in other countries, developed countries, what we say. Well, comparison of any sort is, Dada Bhagwan has always said, never get into any sort of comparison. Never. For your self-progress and in all sorts of life, corporate governance based on self-governance. Because very life is a corporate governance. That is what Dada Bhagwan said, what I remember. I was pleased to listen Shah Sahib, Mr. J. Shah, to have spoken so fluently and nicely, as he has told that he was at sea. And I know him very well. Once he gets up, he's on the seas, well anchored on the shores, always, always. And he can talk free of time. Wonderful. It will be a nice thing in future if in groups we can have such opportunities to talk amongst ourselves in such interesting topics which basically deal with the core of everyone's life, In any field of our faculty of life we are placed. It will be a great happening if we happen to meet together in such groups also. Minesh bhai, I would suggest, so you have done a real good thing in inviting bank executives, officials in such a meet for such an interaction. Wonderful. So after me, we have got two important of our members from Jai Sachidanand Sangh, Mr. Sunil Parekh, Asian Development Bank, I think, right? And other Kerala, Jairus, ex-CII director, and Uttam Mehta, he is industrialist from Ahmedabad. So they will enlighten us out of their experience, wonderful experience. I know Mr. S.R. Parekh, Sunil Parekh, wonderfully well. And he is also a wonderful person to listen to. Same is true for Uttam Mehta. So just in 2 minutes, I will hand over the mic to Manas Mehta to request both of them one by one for certain time as you did give in a portion for them. Right? It is for you and for all of us. Then because we have to talk amongst us also. Right? So, today's topic is so wonderful. Sir Sahib has talked to you so nicely and touched this point wonderfully. And regarding this basic topic of corporate governance based on self-governance, and so far as corporate governance in banking is concerned, well, banking also is a corporate governance nowadays that we know, all of us. And from that light and from that angle and from that viewpoint, also, if we talk today on the basis of the corporate governance in general also, because these two banks are basic, India's leading banks, BOB and SBI. After RBI, SBI is the biggest and BOB is so, others are coming. But as we know, the integration process is going on. It is going on. Our finance minister is there important. Our important prime minister is there. They are working hard to see that we come as close to, as par with developed countries as possible. But thumb size will be thumb only. It cannot be a pillar. Is it so? We cannot compare. So we have to base all our understanding regarding corporate governance in globalization and in the light of the present world and the developed countries and our countries, and we say that we are developed and we are coming, and in the coming 15 or 20 years or 25, we will be so, a power, etc. So many talks are going on. But with such a country, with billion plus population, it acquires a different dimension, sir. That is my understanding. I think it is common understanding. One need not have a very high education for that. A common man, a farmer, understands that. Everybody. Basic economy is related to a common man everywhere, all around. But corporate governance, as it is concerned, acquires most important meaning in this context as to see, to let the fruits of all these developments, particularly commerce is the base, money is the base, and banks and banking functions are at the core, basic. It requires all the importance. They need to go down from the top to the bottom. In whatever national policies are that are framed from time to time, whatever, they are going to be politically, no doubt. But within whatever frame, service rule frame or whatever frame and corporate governance frame and whatever individual chairmen and bodies, corporate bodies frame, what is possible? That inner sight, what Sir Sahib said, is very important, most important. I don't think anybody can ever interfere in that. No. This can be equally true for a farmer, uneducated man, Adivasi, and a highest educated MBA or whatever I am, whatever. Everybody, sir. I understand that way. But here acquires corporate governance all importance. Because the powers that are vested in them are vast. And powers that be are different. The balance that can be struck between the two, is it possible? That is the centerpiece of the topic of today's discussion. And with that I would like to end myself. It's a very wonderful topic. I would like to talk a lot on that. There are a number of issues and points on which we can talk to this point. It can bring out number of topics which can interest you individually, everybody, as well as your corporate body governance officers, executives, and common men, every way. When circumstances afford the chances. So I would request Manish Bhai Mehta to go further with these proceedings. So thank you, all of you. Yes, please.
Inner peace in the face of competition outside, where it can lead to failure. How one finds inner peace and how does he cope with the normal day-to-day pressures in his profession?
How one finds peace in
Inner peace.
inner peace in the competition, day-to-day competition. That's the question is.
If you'll write down, it will be better for me. But anyway, in the competitive world of today, okay. Good question. You have talked about the inner peace particularly, and that relates to the individual. Individual placed in any situation, in whatever field. Well, peace, word peace, is understood in our vernacular language as Shanti, right? Inner peace, we call it. Right, on? I think you mean that way. That is Shanti. We have got that sloka. Jyoti, what is that? Asatom Gamaya. Gamaya. The last they say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Unless I am taken out from the darkness to the light, divinity, light of the divinity that is within, my own, that darkness will not get removed and establish the inner peace. I think that is the meaning, no? Uttam bhai? By and large, whatever. Inner peace is different. Normally we understand peace in relative life and day-to-day living, individual living, as obtained through various practices, religious practices, what we call, whatever belief, faith and following one has. Say, name following Ram, Krishna, whatever, mantra, jap, etc. There are various ways, meditation, concentrations, yogic exercises today. We see lots of them on TV serials, and lots, not only throughout India, but it has assumed international dimensions. And controversies too. But it is the common knowledge and experience of everybody, of all such practitioners, that The peace that one understands from the core that one desires inside everybody is never, it eludes everybody. It eludes. It's common experience. Why? Because Shanti, very word Shanti, what is meant by that? Peace is not the correct English word for that. Our original word is Shanti. So, that word in its original sense relates to the establishment of our experience of our state of being of such being so within us, within this body physic frame. Unless the taste is there, that a sugar, peace, sweetness of it, what it is. Unless it is put in the mouth, nobody understands what is the sweetness of the sugar. And anybody who has not understood the sweetness of the sugar and tries to understand, listening all around regarding the sweetness of the sugar, talking by everybody, everywhere, and practicing every way, the way everybody practices. Nobody experiences the taste of the sugar unless that sugar piece gets put into his mouth and he tastes it. You follow, I think, what I mean to say. That is experience, So peace actually gets related to one's own experience of one's own real self. Real means perpetual. As distinctly separate from body physic relative self. In our relative life, we want peace in the relative body. But in relative body, to have such a peace, you are all thinkers, well-placed executive officers in banks and all that. To you, it can be talked to. This is a science. To have such an experience is not a religion, let me tell you. No, not at all. This is the fallacy for our whole of the India. Every corner of the country, such a vast country, as well as the world. Because religion as understood in the world and as followed by faiths and beliefs everywhere, all around, is a religion that is relatively based. It is not based on a science. That is how it is. This scientist, Nobel laureate Einstein was 21st century, I think, no? He was put scientist of this century, 20th. Einstein. After so many scientists are there, of course, but he was given like that. That is what, and when America says something, whole world accepts it. That's true, I think. Leader. So, he said, science without religion is lame, and religion without science is blind. This he said at the end, where he got into terrific repentance of his pursuit in the realm of the nature, wherein he ought not have transgressed to the extent to which he transgressed, and visualized the negative and destructive effects of it. Sir, that is how we have to say that. I think I have no great knowledge about this, but what I have, this is my vision. What do you say, sir? Einstein, huh? Likewise, there are so many statements of Einstein, such a great scientist, of his last days, in last years, which relates to the present day world, which is based on relative science and relative life and living, and also today corporate governance will deal today. That is also based on a science. And today corporate IIMs and IIMs in different names we see all around. And leading economies of the world, India growing, competing China, and all around everywhere. And everybody is joining the race. Dada Bhagwan's basic principle in this life regarding individual life and living for one to be peaceful at the heart is this, that he never believed in competition of any sorts. Never, never, never. Neither in spiritual life nor in relative living. He was a businessman throughout his life. He was because in construction business. He never believed in competition. And he would see everybody. He belonged to a family from our village to which I also belong, same village. And the family to which he belonged, it was a leading family. So in this Baroda city, there was an incident where a leading industrialist of his family, of which he was the eldest one, and those people had a occasion in their bungalow and invited the cream of the city, all cream. And they asked Dada Bhagwan also, that being our head of the family, please come. And one of the member of the family, young member, very young, he was 30 years only, named Chandrakant, he was there also. He used to follow him out of the whole big family. They had a Bros textile mill they were owning, and they took and they modernized and everything. From Africa they came. So everything went on. And Dada Bhagwan's, everybody, it was a big hall, big bungalow in Alkapur, India, Kunj Society, last bungalow. And big hall, very big hall of 800 feet, 900,000. A big divan, big sofas, everybody together. So one by one, about 20 people, 25 people, they came, they used to sit. Family people sit there, people used to come on sofas, other divans, etc. So Dada Bhagwan came and sit at the edge of the sofa. And he was happy there. And the two elders of that family, who happened to be nephew of Dada Bhagwan, mind you, he was elder of the family. He said, how come you sit here? Please come with us. You are elder. It looks bad. No, please don't bother. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm here. I'm happy here. Just take it like that. But it looks bad for us, you see. And nothing there. What is there there? Nobody knows, and everybody knows also what is there. And I am an ordinary person. He said that. It's okay. So one businessman came and he sat in the sofa near these two family people. Then another corporator, Mayor Thakur Bhai Patel came. He said, please move a little. And he was given the seat. Some politicians came. Please. The one who came earliest, he had to go on moving. The situation came to such a pass, the gentleman came so near to Dada. And Dada was observing all this show. Wonderful. He was smoking at that time, Dada. You might be wondering that such a person and smoking, would you be wondering? Sir? Huh? Everybody wonders. At that time, huh? At that time. You know, big yogis and all that, they do chalams and all that, you know? It's not like that. That one should smoke at all, not at all. He was a family man, no? So, when he closed, and he was observing, and his face was getting so disturbed. By the time he came very near to Dada, and he knew Dada. Ambalal Bhai, his name was Ambalal Bhai, A.M. Patel. You saw, you know, what these people are, you see. Just they are moving. Every day. I know what to do. See. That is how it is. That is competition. Do you follow? This is Dada's principle. Then that elder of the family, he said afterwards, not before, that you did very bad thing. Being elder, he sat there and not with us. No. His name was Vallabhbhai, eldest. Huh? Look here. I was smoking nicely. I was watching everybody in this race. That who will come first? After all, one would come first, not everybody. So I was interested in watching everybody. I hope everybody of you understand. In competition, first number gets one or more than one. Why you don't speak, none of you? Boliye na? Only one, no? And rest of the others? Oh, that's wonderful. That fellow, his nephew, says, oh, you are coming. This is not good. You do this like this. What can I do? This is my practice. I never enter into a race. You see? But what your question is, in competitive world, whatever you are forced to and made to and you have to live, that is a different point. Whatever under force of circumstances, that is a different point. And what you are as per your inner state and you enter, that is different. Do you follow? They are two different entities. Here is inner peace. You see, it's a very basic question. This is what? Whose question?
Somebody gave the Rajiv.
A man can be a good manager, officer, but at the same time, how can be a good father and husband? Who has asked this?
At the back.
Yes, sir. Oh, you have asked. Very good question. How could you ask such a question? You are in Bank of Baroda or what? Which? Huh? क्या थी इसे? શું કહ્યું? कौन से?
I am working here in Bank of Baroda, Chandra office.
Bank of Baroda, General Office. So you have asked an interesting question. You seemed to have read some book on this. No? Just it came to you? It's a good question. Does anybody think like on these lines? How to be a good father and husband? Basic. That is called self-governance. Self-governance comes here. Unless one becomes better self-governed, one's own home relations can never be wonderfully self-governed related in a sense that one is subservient to them. Do you follow? Subservient, I would say. As head of the family, nobody would feel that I am subservient. Would anybody feel? Oh, I am head of the family. Everybody should be obey me. My sons, my wife, everybody. So in that case, of course, wife also would say that my husband also at least should obey sometimes what I would say. You see, everybody's relative, no? Relative. Otherwise, you are husband. Husband. And Shah Sahib says, meaning of husband is what, sir? हाँ, हंसने का बंद कर देंगी वो. तो उसका प्रेम जितना चाहिए, वाइफ का प्रेम जितना चाहिए, वाइफ का तो है. और फादर इज डिफरेंट. फादर एंड मदर, I will tell you, Dada said that in the life, the greatest indebtedness of one, having got born till the end, is to one's own father and mother in the relative life, home life and home relations. Greatest. And in spiritual living in life, to your guru, whomsoever you believe. Guru, spiritual, whatever you believe. Maybe deity or whatever. But there means 100% finished. Only these three. Beyond this, there is no indebtedness of yours in the relative life for you right from the time of your birth till the end. Except further on, basically at the core to yourself. I hope you follow. Except basically at the core to yourself. You follow? No. All of us basically are indebted right from the birth to our own selves. And to have full realization and understanding with full 100% responsibility, sense of responsibility of understanding for that, for our own self-governance of our whole life throughout, right from the times of understanding till the end. This is very necessary that we are indebted to ourselves. Therefore, we feel more indebted to our parents. Right or not, sir? Krishna Sahib, what do you say? Basic. And in the spiritual world, to Guru or whatever deity, whatever you believe. But there, you have to be very sincere and moral. So Dada Bhagwan said, in the relative life, for self-governance, basic, for anybody, the basic principle, governing principle of anybody's life, educated, non-educated, anybody, But you as thinkers and well educated and you can be very instrumental, very effectively, powerfully instrumental. Forget to filter down to everybody, to common man, through whatever responsible positions you are put to. It can be filtered down. These guiding two principles are sincerity and morality to one's own self. Therefore, you can be to your parents and to your guru or spirituality, whatever. Right? That is how. Spirituality and guru, what we say, is again a relative term. As I said, religion does not mean spirituality. No. Spirituality in this word is not a misnomer, actually, I would say. The word dharma that is used in our language, in our parlance, is as understood commonly, is understood in a relative sense, sir. It is based on doership. And since it is based on doership, we find conflicts and clashes all around the world today. Because for a majority of the world, a majority of the people in the world, dharma as understood by everybody has to be understood on a constructive basis for the common good, for the common people. But it cannot be so 100% for all the 100% population of the world. That is how we find clashes and conflicts. There are people who say that our religion is this. So they define their religion different way. Our religion is killing, ruling, and establishing our rule by violence. Fine, sir. Well, that is how it is. Well, there are two classes. Dharma, as I told you, as understood in the world today, based on doership, that is commonly understood as dharma all around. And therefore, it cannot be called real spirituality. Because there is other side of it, as a coin has two sides like that. Which adharma. Adharma means those who believe in destructivity, violence, violent activities, attacking types, attacking natures, like that, ruling types, by hook and crook anyway. For them, it is dharma, their dharma. We know Mahabharata very well, right or not? And highest of the high placed people that time we know, such a great discussion of dharma and adharma there. Sahib, right? Lots. Till now. What to do? Points of dilemma. That is where the whole world is there. So Dada Bhagwan said, the world is a puzzle itself. God has not puzzled this world at all. You as thinkers, I would like to tell you what has Dada Bhagwan relieved. That there are two viewpoints to solve this puzzle that world is. One relative viewpoint and one real viewpoint. By relative viewpoint, God is the creator of this world is true by Hindu viewpoint. By relative viewpoint, God is creator of this world is true by Indian or Hindu or whatever majority of our religion is right. By relative viewpoint, God is creator of this world is by Islam viewpoint. Yes, sir. By relative viewpoint, God is the creator of this world by Christian viewpoint, Jew viewpoint, or whatever. But not by real viewpoint, not by fact. It is by relative viewpoint. By real viewpoint, by fact, the world as it is, it was, it is, and it always is. It will always be. It is of perpetual nature, constantly going on variations in time, size, shape, every way goes on. We understand the world by the population of human beings. So based on that, the definition of the world gets defined. That's it. Of course, eco-balance is there. Today everybody understands what is the value of eco-balance. And therefore they would like to value all other ecosystems. But still, it is extremely difficult for them to grasp the real meaning of it, because times are such as not to make them or their inner greed to understand to the core the real aspects of the balance of that ecosystem. No, it's very difficult because times are such. There are quite few and they are thinking, they do go on shouting and telling and everybody. It goes on, but still the world gets driven by greed. Am I right? Banks do not get driven by greed, do they? सर बोलिए ना आप लोग कोई बोलते नहीं, आप बोलो तो सही. Do banks get driven by greed? Huh? Alisha, for certain. Krishnan साहब क्या बोलते हैं?
There are different kinds of banks.
No, greed I say. And that is exactly, as a principle, at the core, greed factor does not relate to banks.
Greed is not what is driving banks like BOB and SBI have.
Huh.
There are banks.
But these IIMs are guided by greeds? No. Sir, tell me, Sunil Bhai Sahab. I talked to a director, chairman, Khandwala Sahab. Yes, sir. When he was with me.
Private enterprise is driven by greed.
Huh?
Private enterprise is driven
No, not that way I say. What I mean to say is different. I don't say private or public or whatever say. I say here, there, everywhere I say. Greed factor is general, I said. No, I know. No, I know. It's not negative, but this is the basic driving force for a human being.
I would have a better word, profit. Profit.
I know. After all, what is profit? Is it opposite? Is it not opposite of loss? Huh? Does it exclude loss? Does it exclude loss? No? It includes loss. So loss is also considered a profit.
No.
If it is so, then I agree. Sir, I would agree, sir. If banks would consider. But nationalized banks do consider that way. Because they have got national policies there. No? Politicians are different. Lightly we are talking. Huh? No, but you see, there are so many interesting points to understand. So there are two viewpoints to solve this puzzle, relative viewpoint and real viewpoint. Otherwise, Dada Bhagwan has explained this world as scientific circumstantial evidences. That is the existential state of the world. World that means I, you and everybody of us. Every living matter. Basically we are concerned with human factor. Right? Or no? Do we take care any other living forms other than human factor? Do we? Huh?
Not all of us, we do.
We do. But America, they don't. America, they don't. They penalize husbands more. But they don't allow their cats to penalize that much. They don't. Their cats are so pet. Husbands, they don't bother about so much. Why? That is what I have learned in papers I read. There is in New Zealand, the gentleman has come. He is also businessman.
Why they are caring for cat?
Huh?
Why they are caring for more cat rather than husband?
Sukan?
Why are they caring for cats rather than husbands?
Because they are loving. No, they understand that these human beings have lost values. These husbands don't understand what we mean, what we are. That's what cats do understand us. That's what. So this was on father and husband what you said, huh? I'm sorry because of my extension so much. So there are two more, and it is nearing 12. Manish bhai. So I think this is running. I think it's not stopped.
Let it go, Ravi.
Huh? It does not stop, never, no? I read in the Sayaji garden there, Sunil bhai, that till now nobody has made a clock in this world. So, Bipin bhai, what is that? कि उसका that उसका
Time machine goes behind.
हाँ until now they have not made that. Everybody would like to get time rolled back, right or not? Huh? Or no? Yes, sir. Sunil bhai, you would like to? These two we will complete. Then, sir. Corporate governance appears to aim at optimizing financial prosperity, since corporate emerges out of desire to develop in financial respect. True. This process of attaining financial prosperity and adding on to it requires extra efforts and sacrifices. With this desire, the desire to grow financially lead the individuals of the corporate to prosper ethically, emotionally, or eternally. Ethically. Now, ethically means emotionally or eternally. That is the question, no? Who wrote this? The question is emotionally or eternally. What do you mean to say that way? Ethical value you mean to say? Ethical value in terms of emotionality and eternity? Oh, eternity. Oh, it's a very big question. I think most of it was covered in this, what we talked right now. And you're right. The basic driving force is, even though we as Hindus and all, in Dharma, we may believe that we are non-violent, but very gathering together of the assets is nothing but a violent activity. This is the basic principle at core of a human being. But these are not the times to talk like that, because nobody would understand. You cannot talk this to a common man. No. But to you I would talk. To you I would talk. Would you like to extend just a little on this? Would you like? When you gather something, you cannot gather in these times, even the scientific world, without snatching away something from some other. Can you? Tell me. Principle of the material science and particle science is, in the whole universe and the world, particularly world, matter remains the same. but changes in the forms. That's it. Right or not? We see so many saints doing chamatkars. I hope you know that. Oh, I bring ash, I bring so many ways. The clock or watch or what, so many things. Well, Dada Bhagwan said, there is nothing like chamatkar in this world at all. It is nothing but trickery, tricks only. This is not to say or belittle anybody, but to bring out the facts and science facts about these things on a basis of science, not on a basis of fictitious beliefs. No. I hope you follow. No. Dada Bhagwan demonstrated this in his life. I think Nyaya Mandir, you know, here. In the Nyaya Mandir, he conducted Nyaya Mandir somewhere. In one of his writings, he has brought out this example. He gathered together some of his friends. Come on now, you are talking about chamatkar and all that. I will show you a chamatkar, and you will call it a chamatkar. However, could you believe that I will make a pen out of this paper and fry 3-4 bhajis and give you to eat, and you will eat it? Impossible, sir. How can you fry bhajis into this? Whole paper will get burnt before you get bhajis out of it. I will do it. Do you want to see? Before your eyes I will do it. But he did. He got it. He got a paper, cardboard, a funnel type. Right. Then poured oil. And he put a flame below. And oil was hot enough for those dough of the bhajis to be put into it. And till it was hot, he started putting 1, 2, 3, 4, and he took out. And he gave to them. And he put it aside. And oil was blown out. See? Can you see this? Anywhere it is burnt? Sir, you know that? He did before everybody. Well, this is nothing. There is science behind this. He has explained that. Likewise, I met अपना वो कौन आए थे आपके घर पर? Kelal. He's 80 years plus now. And somebody referred my name, and he was anxious to meet me, but somehow I was at Sampai's place. And he was told from Calcutta, his relation, close relation, that Kanu Dada is there these 2-3 days. Please meet him. Okay. So he's staying at Ashram Road. And he rang him up. I can come. Just now I had a cataract operation 10 days back. I go, how would you be able to come at this age? 80 I think, right? 80. But I can come. I will come with my daughter and wife. But only after 9 o'clock. What about? Will it do? Any time for you. You come. So he did come 9:30 or so, right? Then he was there. Some of us were there. Jaimesh Bhai Aptaputra was there. And he came in. He sat down. We got introduced. And he talked. And he said, he told about his own experience in Andhra, where he said about this, his tricks. Well, there is nothing like chamatkar. He says himself. But you see, none of you would be able to do it, you see. Oh, my life has gone and I am doing this internationally, all over the world. And today also I am moving all everywhere. My son, though, is involved, and yet I am moving. very active still at age. So he said, come. He told us, do you want to see that? What is that? I will take that vast shape. In Jaina belief and following, that sandalwood powder, that is called vask shape. That saints, they put on your head as a pious, like that. So he said, okay. So he did something like that, right? What he did? Some gestures he did. And he said, you can see this pajama and this thing. You can see. Look here now. It is now. It's falling out of my hand. Come on, take in your hand. He took, myself, we all of us took the sandalwood powder. Take one, like that. Then he said another. He took, give me lighter. He took lighter. He took his wife's sari. Take out sari. He put the flame below. And he removed flame all over. The flame from top, he came through the sari. Sari does not get burnt. It's just like a flame. Continuous flame. That's it. That's it. Chamatkar, chamatkar. Today also, not only India, Western world and whatnot and where not. Same thing. Life is too important to miss out on it. A chance to understand the science about it. We should not miss it. I hope I have made very clear to all of you, and whenever you will desire, it is my open offer and greeting to you. You can get together and we'll sit down. This experiment that Dada Bhagwan used to conduct, 1 hour's experiment of self-realization, today gets conducted through his body. It is now 76th. So still, with the grace of everybody and whatever time left for the body, till the body is there.
Minimum 25 years.
Oh, you said that?
You have been telling
Well, I don't know. Whatever. So till that time, this body can function. And I can be instrumental for that experiment of Dada Bhagwan's total grace, Almighty's grace, to get showered on all of you whenever you desire, and express your hope to come together wherever you say, place, to tell, moves by. So all these things, in short, everything will get solved. You follow, Krishna Sahib? Really, I tell you, I'll put like that. You will consider it chamatka, but no, you will experience that sugar is sweet. You follow? Huh? That's it. So, this, I think it is answered.
second one.
Last one now. Last one. Whatever happens in the result of, Jara mana ask, what is this word? Circumstantial
Of scientific
completion
experimentation.
of scientific circumstantial evidences. Result of complete.
Of the scientific circumstantial evidences,
Right.
what is the reason why the individual should make efforts?
All right.
If everything is destined, why human beings should strive to attain certain goals?
Very good question. Well, scientific circumstantial evidences is the solution based on science, but that is only available to you to understand in your life, individual life, when you have your inner self realized way and in your self vision way, real way. With that real self-vision way, with that self-vision from inside, you follow? You will be with the relative body, in a relative sense, in relative efforts of all whatever life and circumstantial evidence is, scientific, in whatever, that body will be subjected to, according to scientific. You understand? From within and without. Your constant separation way of experience and separated state will be there, state of being, from that realized state. Do you follow? So it's a vision. Without vision, that will not help you. Mere verbal understanding will not help you.
No, what I'm trying to say.
If you want a verbal understanding, it requires quite a good discussion, and it will be a total different discussion.
What I'm trying to say is that suppose if everything is destined.
No, it is not destined, what I mean to say. Scientific circumstantial evidences means not destined the way the world understands and you say. No. Scientific word is most important. Do you follow? Scientific. What is your good name, please?
D.M. Shah.
I am D.M. Shah is the scientific existence. By scientific circumstantial existential state for D.M. Shah. Do you follow? Or no? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, D.M. Shah, as D.M. Shah is not alone. Even if you are, say you are not married and you are a sadhu, even then you are not alone. Can you be? Because body is there, and therefore mind is there. And wherever there is mind, you are there as a body. Or no? You see? Mind is the root cause of all wandering, and freedom from mind is the freedom from all wandering. That's it. In spite of being in this bonded state of physical being, you can live a liberated life. Wonderful. That is what I say. You follow, I think. So it is not destined, no, the way it is understood. It's a totally different meaning. No. What you say destined for world meaning and world view and world language is okay. No, it is one-sided. It's lame, lopsided. You see, it is not a balanced understanding. I hope you follow. Basta bachi, Minesh Bhai Mehta. I think any other question? Today it is already 12:15. So I think today we stop for next time when you desire. I would request all of you, Uttam Mehta, his younger brother. He is a bigger corporate than Uttam Mehta, I think. I don't know. He is a elder brother, of course. I need not say that. It will be unnecessarily. I should not say that.
This is how we say.
Eh?
This is how we say.
His name is Lalit Mehta. He is from Jodhpur. Wonderful personality. He is owning a chain of 10 departmental stores in Jaipur, Jodhpur and Ahmedabad, and planning further expansions. And every store he runs by not moving anywhere. Wonderful. He is a corporate company. Corporate company? How? If he had floated shares, we would have taken some, sir.
He runs the show like an instrument, and being a part of that corporate body, being the smallest in that corporation, at the same time the world.
See, his beauty, whatever stores he runs, At every store, the counter, wherever, from everywhere, customers, they will come. In the bag, they will put the things. And for packing, they will go there. Whole such bunch is kept of these books. These are the axioms and aphorisms of Dada Bhagwan. But in such books, they are there. In Hindi, because Jaipur will be Hindi, Jodhpur will be Hindi. And Ahmedabad is Gujarati. So there is Gujarati also. And Jaimesh Shah is responsible also. Connected. So he puts these books. There are 4 of them. Each one containing 100, I think. 100. There are 4 books, A, B, C and D. So Dada Bhagwan's aphorism, every facet of our life is covered there. Wonderful there. Wonderful, sir. So he puts there. People take, along with the, while the packing is being done, they see, hey, so good, so क्या कीमत है उसकी? ये मिल सकती है? कि जरूर. कि what is price? No asking, take it. Like that. So, he does not ask his manager, what is the gross today? But he will ask from the counter man, how many books has gone? You follow? That is his method of doing business. That is his way. Like this, in the past couple of years, numbers, nearly millions, 2 millions, I think, must have been distributed. I tell you. Whole of the Rajasthan, Delhi, up to Chandigarh, like that. And this book, Swapar Prakashak Vignan. These are small incidents as narrated by Dada Bhagwan himself during the course of discourses and satsangs the way we did. And they were in Gujarati vernacular, but translated into Hindi by Jaimesh Bhai in the group and edited by him. That is how it is, dear Jaimesh Shah, but edited rather. He edited this. So, this book has come out like that, different chapters. Wonderful book. At the end, there are 25, 30 letters that have come. Wonderful. Out of which, one letter that has come from which central jail. Wonderful. All sorts of people they have come. 2 letters have come from jail. They are life prisoners. Life prisoners. Kendriya Jail, Bhopal. On 13th December, जीवन को नई दिशा. माननीय शाहजी, he writes to him, आप जय सच्चिदानंद संघ के समस्त अनुयायियों को अजीत दुबे का प्रणाम स्वीकृत हो. मैं यहाँ केंद्रीय नवीन जेल में आजीवन कारावास का बंदी हूँ. विगत माह में मुझे मेरे एक मित्र द्वारा भेंट की गई पुस्तक स्वपर प्रकाशक विज्ञान का अध्ययन किया. वास्तव में ज्ञानी पुरुष दादा भगवान का दर्शन, चिंतन एवं सहज प्राकृतिक उपमाओं ने मेरे जीवन को एक नई दिशा दी है, जिससे मैं आध्यात्मिक अति अधिक प्रभावित हुआ एवं अपने ही अंदर उन खामियों की खोज एवं भविष्य में उन खामियों का किस प्रकार पॉजिटिव यूज करना है, पॉजिटिव यूज, इस दिशा में ज्ञानी पुरुष द्वारा सुझाए गए उपायों पर गौर करना ही जीवन का अल्टीमेट गोल बना लिया है. माननीय से निवेदन है कि ज्ञानी पुरुष के कहे अन्य सद्वचनों की पुस्तकें मुझे भेजने का कष्ट करे, ताकि मैं ज्ञानी पुरुष द्वारा अनुशंसित विचारों को प्राप्त कर सकूं. आशा है आप अपने ज्ञान सागर से कुछ बूंदे अवश्य प्रदान करेंगे. भवदीय. अजीत दुबे वगैरह, केंद्रीय जेल भोपाल वगैरह लिखा है. And the second letter after his experience he has written after 4 or 5 months. Wonderful letter he has written. Like that so many people. From army, this, that, border, all that. No. I think they are put here for everybody to take. So, any, आपको some, huh? Give some, Krishnan sir, from Baroda, Bank of Baroda. Huh? Your own inner, whatever comes. Go ahead.
Not question, but